Hi, I'm Andy, a collection specialist at Credit Sage, and my goal is to help people learn how they can remove IQ Data International from their credit report. And this is in many cases without paying the debt at all. So if that's you or someone you know, I'm confident that you're going to walk away from this video knowing what the next best step is to take. I want to preface by saying that this doesn't mean that you shouldn't take action. For example, if you know or believe that IQ Data International, or actually any of the accounts on your credit report are the result of identity theft, or have a wrong balance after you've already paid, or any other major issues that are really affecting your life, you may be owed a settlement. And we work with a network of local attorneys that will work on your behalf, zero cost, win or lose, in addition to getting the accounts permanently deleted. Or, if no issues like that exist and you just want the account removed from your credit report, we can help with that too. Just give us a call today. Our number will be in the description below. But what I want to do today is I want to go through some of the most important questions that we get about this company. And the first one here I think is really important, and that is, can you be arrested or get jail time for a debt with IQ Data International? I put this one at the top of the list because we get a lot of callers that are terrified that this could happen. It makes sense. Few people are really taught how credit and debt work in school. I didn't know the answer to this question until I got into the business. And fortunately, the answer is unless the debt is related to specifically unpaid taxes or unpaid child support, you cannot be arrested or get any jail time. So there's no need to worry about that whatsoever. The amount of the debt doesn't matter either. You could refuse to pay $1,000 or $1 million, and you will not be arrested or get jail time. So, which leads into, who is IQ Data International and why are they on your credit report? So, they are what's referred to as a debt collector or credit collection agency. And what they do is they buy debts, unpaid accounts like credit cards, for example, often for very cheap. And then they try to collect the full amount. Okay. So, for example, let's imagine for a moment that you, for whatever reason, have an unpaid a card with Capital One, and it's $1,000. IQ Data International could, in theory, come along and buy that debt for just $100. But they don't try to collect that amount. They try to collect the full $1,000 from you, which gives them a 10x return on their investment. So, these companies can make a lot of money. And damaging your credit score by reporting the debt to your credit report is one of the primary strategies that they have to get you to pay. However, what a lot of people don't know is that paying a debt on your credit report does not remove the account attached to it. That account will sit there for 7 years, damaging your score, paid or not. So a lot of the time, paying isn't your best interest. It could just be a waste of money. Now, in rare cases, paying the debt can even hurt your score further. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, in addition to credit reporting, they may send scary letters. Maybe you've gotten one of these. They may call a lot. They may even call your family members and colleagues. And again, I can't stress enough that if a collector has ever threatened you or harassed you during non-business hours, you may be owed a lawsuit. So again, that's another case that you want to give us a call so that we can connect you with a local specialist that will take action quickly on your behalf. Here's a question: should you negotiate a settlement with IQ Data International? Okay, so settling your debt with IQ Data International really depends on your goal. Typically if you're wanting to improve your credit score, paying isn't in your best interest or your best option even. Why do I say that? Because like I mentioned before, even if you pay the collection, it will remain on your credit report for 7 years, damaging your score that whole time. Now, instead, we always recommend working with an expert like us to review these accounts for you. And if certain issues exist, then the accounts may be removed entirely. And this is a win-win, right? You won't have to waste money paying a debt that won't help your score. And the negative account gets removed from your report. So it's perfect. Which actually dovetails right into the next question. How do you remove IQ Data International from your credit report? So the Fair Credit Reporting Act gives every person the power to challenge information on their report. Now, let me say that the knowledge required to do this is a bit more involved than it might seem. I'm not saying that you shouldn't learn how to do it, but be prepared to spend weeks, maybe even months, learning how to do it properly. However, if you'd like to hire a professional to handle it for you and ensure that it's done properly the first time and save the extra time, we're happy to take care of it for you. We've dealt with IQ Data International accounts many times, and they regularly have issues, and we've helped numerous clients deal with them, and we'll be able to take care of it for you too if you'd prefer. How can you get IQ Data International to stop calling you? This is a great question, and if they haven't started calling you yet, they will. Because, like I said, them calling you is their attempt to collect the debt that they've purchased, right? Get the return on their investment. Which means that the only reason that they're going to stop calling you is if you settle your debt with them, or you work with a company like ours to potentially have them removed from a report altogether. Will IQ Data International try suing or garnishing my wages? So IQ Data International suing is unlikely. It can happen. It does happen, but it's rare. There are a lot of laws around how long they can sue for, what they can do if they win, and it's a long process. However, you can work if we're able to find certain issues with the account. Then they won't be able to collect it all, which is another benefit of using an expert. Let's see here. What are my rights when dealing with IQ Data International? So you have the right to dispute any of your debt that IQ Data International has purchased. IQ Data International is governed by the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, the FDCPA. And as I mentioned before, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA. Now, these acts can seem very complicated, and they can be, but they really provide a great deal of power to the consumer if you know how to use it properly. Now, if you don't have time to research these acts, that's not a problem. Give us a call today. We can discuss your options, and our number will be in the description below. Thanks.